We're live 3 days in a row. This is like a record for me. Wonder if we'll keep it going. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll take the day off. I do feel a little sleep deprived, so a day off doesn't sound like a bad idea. Hello, hello. Hope everyone is well. We have another exciting day with another great guest. Fantastic conversation to be had. Building the future of natural bodybuilding and beyond. Beyond. I feel like I'm getting better at killing time before my guest arrives. Of course, that could just be my optimism, you know? Like maybe I'm just talking out my ass. And, well, like I always like to look at it. If you consider bodybuilding as a progressive sport where the whole purpose or the idea of bodybuilding is to progressively overload over the course of your career. So you compete in year 2025, then you continue to build. 2026, you're bigger, sharper, more knowledgeable as to what your body needs in order to peak itself. Then 2027, so on and so forth, and you just continue to perfect your craft. If you take that philosophical understanding of what bodybuilding is, you could, in theory, apply that to essentially any other aspect of your life or pursuit. So I like to break it down by mental, physical, and spiritual. So if the physical pursuit of peaking my body is through natural bodybuilding, then the mental pursuit of peaking my mind would have to be aligned with my desire to be the greatest storyteller of all time. So keeping that goal in mind, I'm able to constantly figure out ways to optimize my brain in order to be the most effective, compelling, and emotionally resonating storyteller that has ever existed. And then for the spirit, how do you peak the spirit? Well, the way that I peak the spirit, and I'm sure that will continue to grow and expand as I further my knowledge and understanding and curiosity, but the way that I currently peak the spirit is basically through kindness, compassion, meditation, prayer, and celebration and gratitude. That is how I peak my spirit, through focusing on the things that matter, and everything matters. What doesn't matter is the stuff that you don't focus on. So, yeah, the things I focus on so far as spiritual pursuits are concerned is loving my neighbor, taking care of my son, and essentially being kind to others. So that's really how I kind of break it down. And then as a result of the intention of peaking my mind, body, and spirit with these incredibly lofty goals, greatest natural bodybuilder of all time, greatest storyteller of all time, and just like when it comes to the spiritual pursuits, yeah, I guess you would have to say it's world peace. I want world peace, and that would be my spiritual, lofty ambition. Doing a really great job killing time, but let me see if I can get my guest in, as she hasn't shown up yet. What else is new? I really like these IG live interviews because I don't know. I was watching. Oh, we got her. You're able to join. Boom, boom, boom. 5. Ah, we're good.
Hello.
Day before contest.
Well, yeah, registration and athlete meeting shenanigans tomorrow. Oh,
How are you feeling?
yeah,
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
I'm excited. It's fourth and final show of the season, so
Yeah.
we're almost there.
I feel like you've been doing shows since I've met you.
I mean, you got me right before my first one, and then, there was some sneaky ones that happened in the middle, but now it's my last one. So,
This feels kind of like a full circle then.
yeah, a little bit.
Well, how have you been since I last saw you? How's the season been for you?
It's been good. So my second and third shows were open shows. So that was kind of an interesting moment, as a obviously natural athlete, just hopping into those to see how it goes. And it didn't go bad. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I did a regional like qualifying event, and then a week later, I was able to go to the Toronto Pro Super Show, like their pro qualifier. So nationals for everybody else, and it was a good time. I ended up placing fifth. So um, yeah, I wanted something. I just wanted to not come last. I didn't know what to expect being against like there's some beautiful physiques going on there. So just know what to kind of bring for that environment in the future because I think it's totally possible to compete in like an open division again. I just would probably bring a package closer to what I first brought because
What
I was
was the
told I was
difference
sorry.
between
Yeah.
what was the difference between those two packages?
Um, well, so at the first show, I came in too hot, too hard. Um, at least that's what they said, because I arguably looked really good, but did not win my first show. The girl that did win did have an overall like softer look. So we spent the month kind of like trying to fill out a little bit, and I think it's just a weird space to be like trying to like fill out, eat a little more, but not like obviously like too much. I don't want to like lose it all. Like I obviously didn't lose it all because I still did pretty well, um, but I was not as hard or as quite as lean as I had been. So I would just a little bit more like the first time if I'm doing an open show. But for natural, it was a little bit too much.
Fascinating, fascinating.
Yeah, I
What is
know.
the
It's
show?
weird. It's a weird space. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's a good
finding a
question
nice
to
middle
hear.
ground for this weekend.
What is the show tomorrow?
So it's on Saturday, actually.
Okay,
Um, it is the Natural Nationals, the Canada Pro Show, so Natural Canada Pro Qualifier and Pro Show. So on Sunday they're going to be doing the Natural Pros, which is really cool.
got it.
Yeah,
Cool. Love
there's not a
that.
lot of those apparently. So yeah, that's I think the first natural IFBB Pro show in Canada.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, exciting for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was looking at well, my division specifically. It is a really small show. Like both girls are going to medal, but I mean, they might gain some new competition as of Saturday. Um, I think anybody whoever does get the wellness pro card should jump in that next day because you have a pretty good shot of getting your first pro medal placing.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, all right. Um, can we do and we may have done this last time, but some time has passed. Can we do a quick, like, let's say because I want to talk to you about a thing, but before I go into the thing that I want to talk to you about, I want to get like your 5 year forecast, best case scenario of the next 5 years.
Oh gosh, I've
And
been
I
doing
think
a
we
whole
both
lot
do
of
this,
not
but
thinking ahead. Sorry, what?
that's fair. No, that's fair, but like just for fun. Just for fun.
No, I mean that's valid. I do see myself being competitive in this sport. So I mean, it is my first season. I don't want to, you know, get my hopes up too much, but I feel like my pro card is within reach. Um, I mean, yeah, but like beyond what that means or where that excuse me would go for me, I don't know. Like, I mean, I love fitness and I've always kind of like loved coaching and working with people. So its ability to expand my reach or it could help me inspire more people to challenge themselves to do hard things or just better themselves, be more wholly naturally healthy, would be super cool.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Okay. That works. And when you say pro card, you mean IFBB Pro, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, there's so many. Honestly, I don't know much about the different federations and like all that jazz. So I know there's a lot, and um, Yeah, I guess just the vein that I'm in right now, that at least that I've started with, is that
Yeah.
fourth eye.
And you want it to remain a lifetime natural.
Of course, 100%.
Okay. Okay. All right. Do. Okay, I think I want to hop into it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So as things move and things are moving like butter, you know. In fact, things are moving so smoothly that I'm almost like I feel like I'm in this space today where like I really just want to cherish this moment in time before we like get the green light from Netflix and we have like the financial backing and it becomes completely open to the public and then everyone wants to be a part of it, right? And I know that like once that happens, like the whole nature of my routine changes because now it's like a whole bunch of people looking to vie for attention and stuff like that. So I really want to take moments like these before the virality and before like everything to like just kind of hone in with the people that I made connections with first and give them the value and let them know, let you know that like it means a lot that you were here at the very beginning and I like it doesn't like I want to reward it, like I want to champion you. With that being said, I realized that once the momentum really picks up, I was initially going to do my idea was to do the King of Naturals tournament in 2028, and then have that happen every 4 years. So the next one would be 2032, right? But the thing is that like as I've continued to promote and market this whole thing, women have been kind of commenting, whether it's through content or DMs, that like there should be a natty queen, and I have every intention of including that. Initially, up until like the past week or so, I was just gonna have all right. So 2028 is the first one, and then 2032 is the second one, and then that's when we would have a bigger division and like multiple categories. You'd have a men's side and a women's side, right? As I continue to make progress, I realize, let's say the Natty King comes out on Netflix in 2028 and it's a big hit and it changes the sport of bodybuilding. Now the face of bodybuilding is natural and we've got a male representative. We're going to need a female representative a lot quicker than 2032.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, so the way that I'm thinking is what if we did the cinematic docuseries of the Natty King in 2028, crown the first ever Natty King that year, and then in 2029, we crown the first ever Natty Queen.
I think that, I mean, that sounds like it's like a good follow up, like riding off of the momentum that you build with the initial moment. And it's like, all right, like coming in hot, like we have our queens kind of here or like going for it. So, I mean,
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense to me personally.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to me as well. And that way, with this strategy, they would have their own moment, their own like time to shine. They're not sharing the stage with anyone. It's specifically the Natty Queen, and then we'd roll into probably if we were to do it that way, then 2030 would be like men's physique, and then 2031 would be frickin' bikini. I don't know, but like you see
Building
how
on it, yeah.
yeah, like we would just like kind of bounce off of it like that, and we would be able to like create compelling storylines within the athletes of each division, and they would all get their own moment of shine without having to like oversaturate the natty verse like right off the bat. You know?
No, absolutely. That totally makes sense. And it seems like you'd be able to like maintain momentum a lot better
Yeah,
that way, as
yeah,
opposed
and
to like
it just seems more manageable.
that too. A
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
both.
So keeping that in mind, Bria, I want you to be the first athlete for the Natty Queen.
Oh my goodness, I mean, thank you.
Awesome.
That's super cool. I was really excited or really drawn to the idea of your project when I first had seen it. So, um, just like a chance to kind of be a part of it and showcase the beauty and the power in natural bodybuilding and that like, you can do incredible things without artificial enhancements is like, that's super cool. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put that in the trailer. So, one thing I wanted to touch on with you is me personally, as a storyteller, I'm really curious as to All right. Okay. So you like anime, right?
Yes.
Okay. The thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around is I'm attacking this whole thing from the perspective of an epic storyline that spreads out over decades, involves thousands of people in real life, all kind of leading to this destination in the future where we actually achieve world peace. And by the crowning of the Natty King, that's the catalyst for that moment that happens decades down the line, right? With that in mind, it is all very anime-esque. It's all very exaggerated, and we'll be able to ground it in a way where it's blurred between fiction and reality. It's going to be like a really beautiful presentation. What I wanted to ask you as a person who likes anime, do you think that you're different from other women so far as your psychology, so far as your interests, or is there a commonality between how you view stories and how other women do as well?
I mean that. I mean that's a great question. It's funny, yeah, because like anime has a very specific kind of storytelling or a very like certain kinds of drama, but like and I feel like it also has a huge female fan base as well. So, I mean, in comparison to the general of like women I know, let's say, for example, women that who don't watch anime, probably, yeah. Um, it's funny. I've always been someone who like didn't watch TV or like didn't wasn't watching whatever movie or show was currently popular at the time it was popular ever. Um, so, I mean, yeah, I guess my interests have always been a little bit different. Um, but also like a lot of my friends like anime. So like I guess I'm also personally surrounded by like a lot of like-minded individuals who that's how they pass their time similarly.
Okay, okay, and when you say those like-minded individuals, they're both genders.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I feel like a lot of well, yeah, no, I feel like a lot of no. I think I maybe can have a handful of people that I know that just watch anime and I think probably desensitized to it because like I don't know, it's what I'm into. So like I don't feel any type of way when people are like, oh, I'm into anime where I know a lot of um people like say it quiet. I'm like, you don't need to. Everybody likes anime, right? But like, I don't know. It's probably not necessarily the reality.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the reason I bring this up is because how do I put this? I think men and women are different, right? Like there are certain differences, and I don't even know what the differences are,
Valid, yeah.
but like I know that they exist, right?
Yeah.
And my hope is, well, all right, we'll do it this way. With you being the first athlete, verbal confirmation that you're accepting, thank you, awesome. Um, this is an opportunity for you to be an ambassador of the franchise, the Natty King, the Natty Verse. Like this is, you would be like the first female attached to this whole project, which is actually kind of really cool when you think
That
about
is
it.
really cool. Yeah.
But I think you're perfect for it. Like I really like your vibe, and what I have noticed so far is how I've been casting athletes and adding people to the roster is like it's all very organic, and I think I'm just going to keep that feeling of organic connections throughout my entire career as I go on to like do other movies and then get into politics. It's all going to be very organic, and it feels good. It feels good for me at least. It feels
No, yeah, absolutely. That makes total
yeah.
sense.
Yeah. With that in mind, I'm very conscious of the politics at work prior to this Nattyverse existing. So it's like in the past, if you're competing at the Mr. Olympia, you're trying to bring your best package to the stage with the intention of being crowned the Mr. Olympia or what is it, the Miss Olympia? I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, right.
Yep.
But what's behind the scenes? Like, what are the judges saying? What are the promoters saying? Like, they have someone in mind that they think is going to better promote their sport or their federation. So their eye is on, like, let's say Chris Bumstead, or I actually don't know the female athletes too well, and that's something I have to become more educated on. But you get kind of what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So this is an opportunity to kind of set the groundwork or the foundation for like expectations as to how we're actually going to be crowning the Natty Queen because I feel like I suspect that there's going to be a lot more questions on the female side as to how this is all like being decided than the men's side. I just get this feeling. Like,
I mean, I feel like there's so many. I mean, especially because I'm so new to it, like there are so many questions that I have in regards to like how people decide things currently. So like, yes, absolutely. I feel like that's always going to be the case though when um, it comes to like something that's judged or something where everybody is going to have their favorite regardless of like whether you're on the panel or not. Um, I mean, it's funny you mentioned politics because I've already had, I feel like, my taste of dealing with a level of that. Um, I mean, I don't know. There's just suspected things going on with shows
yeah,
already been to. So, and I'm just getting started. So I can only imagine how it can be.
yeah. So my one of my top concerns when it comes to this entire production is I don't want people to feel cheated. I don't want people to feel like they should have won when they didn't. I don't want people to feel like there's something happening behind the scenes that they don't know about. Hence why I like to have conversations like these, public, open to the public. They're recorded. We'll be able to refer to this conversation 4 years down the line when we're actually in production for the Natty Queen, right? The contents of this discussion should be considered as like, this is how we're brainstorming and this is how we're building this product. With that in
Absolutely.
mind, um, I think what bodybuilding is currently missing is a level of transparency as to how the top athletes are being selected. I think it's like sometimes a person wins and the audience is looking at it like, how did that guy win? Like it doesn't. I don't get it. And I
Yeah.
think it gets even more confusing when it comes to the female side of the sport.
Yeah. I mean, like, so one thing I've stumbled upon, well, I forget which account is posting it consistently. Um, but one of the IFBB like founders is doing breakdowns of their top five after judging and talking about the package that they brought, comparing it to the last time, what they could have done better, where they need to improve. And after my first show, when I first saw one of these videos, I think it was from the Pittsburgh Pro, that happened. I don't know if it's the same weekend or the weekend after, whatever. Um, it made a lot more sense. Like transparency is so key, and I think everybody loves that. When you see it on social media, the people that blow up or do well are the ones who are just vulnerable, like being themselves, chatting that shit throughout the day, like showing you everything that's going on or all different facets of what it is that's going on. So it gives you something to connect to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're on the same page about that. All right. So let's. Have you seen Pumping Iron?
No.
You should. You should. It's a part of bodybuilding history. It's actually what catapulted bodybuilding to whatever level of mainstream success that bodybuilding currently has is a result of Pumping Iron and Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right. So keeping that in mind, I'll just give you the cliff notes of it. Pumping Iron was a movie about, I don't know, 1975 Mr. Olympia, something like that. Arnold Schwarzenegger's competing. He was the star of the documentary, but he also had his contemporaries, Lou Ferrigno, Sergeant Brett, Robbie Robinson was like a little bit of cameo, but they actually didn't want to feature him too much because they were concerned that his physique would draw attention away from Arnold. They had already selected Arnold as like the face of the product of the
Right.
sport
Right.
and of
Right.
the
Right.
generation. So they basically engineered the documentary to make it look like Arnold was the dominating force.
Yeah.
And in some ways he was. In some ways he was because of his personality, right? Me as a storyteller, I I don't think that like if I were to make Pumping Iron, right? Arnold's got a great charismatic personality and he's very lovable. We all like him. But me as a storyteller, I don't believe in one person being the main star. I'm more of an ensemble kind of person because that's really how life is.
Yeah.
And yeah, in my mind, we're all the hero of our own journey, right? So if I was doing that specific documentary of Pumping Iron, I would find ways to captivate audiences for each athlete. So Arnold, he is the charismatic guy that's very likable. But Lou Ferrigno, who is very shy, we would capture him in a way that is more relatable to people who are also introverted and shy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
same thing
I'm
with,
just like thinking. I don't know, just because I was watching the that Netflix building a band right now, so I'm like thinking it's like boy bands. Like everybody always picks their favorite. Like well, it was what was it? One Direction when I was a little bit younger. Me and my friends, we each had our favorites, and we would go and ride hard as a group for this. But we had like our guy, our person, and you can have multiple. Yeah, I agree. Like
that's
absolutely.
exactly how I want to do it with all the athletes on the roster. That goes for the Natty King and the Natty Queen. If we can properly show their strengths and their personalities captured within the cinematic docuseries and beyond, then by the time they actually get on stage, the audience has favorites, and there's not like an invisible bias as to how the judges are being picked, because the idea, if we can pull it off, is that the audience and the judges are kind of one. Obviously, the judges are responsible for selecting who the winner is, but the audiences have some input. They have like there's a level of transparency that is achieved throughout the entire production. That by the time the winner of the Natty King or the Natty Queen is being crowned, it's almost like a unanimous understanding as to why, based on the conversations that are had, based on the prep and the trajectory. We all have kind of an idea, like we might have a favorite. Like let's say, I'm competing in the Natty King. Somebody wants Shaun Fury to win. I've got the most compelling story. But by the time I make it on stage, maybe Oscar Moscat has more conditioning and he looks harder. And it's like, hey man, I love Shaun Fury, but like, look at Oscar. I mean,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
will
yeah.
have educated the audience to understand that this is the criteria that we're looking at, right?
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. It's a fantastic opportunity for education through this, yeah, building transparency just within the sport and just like what is being looked for, what is I know it's. I mean, I know there's a lot to it, and I don't certainly know everything, but I think it's, yeah, a really cool opportunity to be able
Yeah.
to,
Yeah,
educate everybody.
yeah, 100%. And I'm all about edutainment. Like that's like my whole thing. Like educate and entertain simultaneously, and do it in a way where you don't even notice that you're being educated. Like that's my strategy as a storyteller.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that in mind, I think there's a great opportunity to edutain people as to how male and female dynamics work within a professional setting,
Yep,
based off of the dynamic that we create over the course of our respective careers. With that
absolutely.
being said, yeah, with that being said, I want to ask you, all right, with you being the first athlete and understanding and that's why I kind of asked you what you want your trajectory to look like for the next 5 years. My trajectory for the next 5 years is the fitness industry and the entertainment industry. And I plan on being a very vocal leader within both. I see an opportunity for that for you, and you have expressed a desire for acting and things of that nature. The
Yeah,
thing is that when a person comes into the Nattyverse, yes, there's acting and there's performance, but what you're doing is you're acting and performing as yourself. So there's not necessarily a script that you're working with. You're more so working as the best version of yourself, being a leader within the industries that you are passionate about, and being like a role model for people who are watching the content and looking up to you.
excellent.
Yeah, cool, cool. All right, all right. So the big thing for me when it comes to casting the Natty Queen, I don't think I should really. I don't know. I want more female involvement. I want to create the opportunity for in a sense, I almost want to do like a social experiment where the way that the male side of the sport mobilized around the Natty King, I want to show what the difference is as to how the female side of the sport mobilized around the Natty Queen. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah,
Because I think it could be a really great opportunity to show how people work together across different genders. I think there's a really good opportunity there. And I have the suspicion, and this is just my hypothesis that we'll be able to prove over the course of this project, I have my suspicion that women will be able to mobilize more efficiently and work together better, because I think it might be something innate in them to actually understand how to work together.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I even just in when the show from the Sunday posted the divisions of the natural pros that are going to be competing. I immediately like went through the comments to find the two women in my that do wellness and like followed, and then I immediately got follows back and just being like, oh my gosh, like receiving from them before anything, just like good luck this weekend, and I'm like, oh my god, thank you, like you're
Exactly.
doing what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And just
Okay.
immediately, yeah,
Okay. So
have fun with that.
with that, since we're on the same page, the bare minimum that I would ask of you as the first athlete of the Natty Queen, make friends.
Okay,
Just make friends. Be
light
like,
work, yeah, we can
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Just make friends across the board. You're the first athlete, and I actually I want to cast this slowly. I want to cast the Natty Queen slowly. So it might just be you for a minute, but feel free to talk about the project because you're a part of it now, and
Cool.
feel free to let people know what the forecast looks like. We're aiming for 2029. Timelines are always susceptible to change within like the
Yeah,
world of Hollywood, but like this is what the vision is.
yeah,
And like I said, like I don't want to be the sole person who is casting the Natty Queen roster. I want way more female input because I don't even understand females. I just know that like I'm all about inclusivity, and it would be a dishonest or it would be a disservice to create this wonderful project and exclude 50% of the world's population. You know,
yeah,
but as I continue to include the other side of the population, I think that they should be involved in how people are being selected.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm very excited to like continue to immerse myself in the world of bodybuilding. Like I've had a blast these past, I'm gonna say like 4 months, even though it's been like roughly 6 months of my general involvement in the sport. And um, yeah, I'm just every time, every show I go to, every time I'm at one of these events, like you're meeting new people that I'm just stoked that there's like other natural female bodybuilders in whatever division. I'm just like, hey,
yeah.
look at you go. Like that's really cool. Like you look fantastic.
Yes, yes. So as you continue your bodybuilding journey, if there is a wellness athlete that comes across who's natural, feel free to send them my way. We can always like I'm happy to do an IG like this is obviously how I'm conducting these interviews. So we can do an IG live if you want to attend the IG live with the athlete that you're referring over to me. Feel free to. If not the end of the world.
I
But
always be in the comments, just like be a active viewer.
exactly, exactly. Or you can actually like appear as a guest because like
No, yeah, I get that.
yeah,
Right?
okay. Cool, cool. And then as like I said, there is going to be a moment where right now this is like all very grassroots. I'm doing like 95% of the work, right? When it shifts and we do have the financial backing, likely to come from Netflix, but wherever it comes from, once we have it, it does get bigger and like we actually form a team. Things are going to look different, and that would be the moment when I would like, okay, for the Natty Queen, I want a female casting director, and I really want that to be like very female organized, just
For
to
sure.
show how it moves. Like maybe it doesn't move differently, but I think it will. I think it's going to move and operate differently with female hands at the wheel, and like I would be kind of like more of a like an overseer, making sure that the story is congruent with the Natty King.
Yeah.
Like that
Well,
would be like
yeah,
my
still one universe, one space. Absolutely.
exactly.
I'm just my wheels are turning. I'm like, okay, like female filmmaker friends of mine, and just like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's funny.
so
I have friends in like the entertainment industry that are into niches like very similar. Like, a friend of mine is a director, but then also does a lot of film stuff for the Canadian version of the WWE, like whatever it is, I forget the letters.
they would be
But he's
perfect.
like big into wrestling, and does like a lot of film media stuff. And then I have another friend of mine who literally created a entirely female run production company in like, well, in Canada, in Ontario. So, I mean, very that. I know some people.
It would be great to talk to both of those people, to tell you the
Cool.
truth.
Yeah,
That would be fantastic. And one thing I really want to make clear to you is that your role in the Nattyverse is uncapped. So, like, with you coming on as the first athlete for the Natty Queen, it could just be you as an athlete who's like you're just the first athlete and you're competing on stage for the Natty Queen, or it could be like you co-produced the Natty Queen and you were the first ambassador, you were the face before the Natty Queen was crowned, and you're out there at bodybuilding shows recruiting female athletes, and that's all about your bandwidth. It's like
for sure.
that's yeah, yeah. But the bare minimum is that like you would be the first athlete and you would be an ambassador for the project. And at the maximum, like I said, it really is uncapped. However, whatever level of involvement you want to do over the course of your career, that opportunity is open to you. As long as we keep it organic, keep the communication like the way that it has been established.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
just keep it like that.
Hey, cool. I mean, I don't hate the sound of that. So,
Cool,
no, it's. I really like what you've got going on,
cool.
and I think it's just funny the way things work out. So I'm like, this is. I just feel like I know some people, I know some things we could play with for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and like I'm all about empowering. It would be my dream, and I get why it hasn't worked out that way because like I'm really the guy with the vision. But it would be my dream to recruit an athlete, whether it be a male bodybuilder or a female bodybuilder, tell them what the plan is, and just like leave them like now they're off to the races and they're able to tell their story effectively, and I'm able to like go like, hey, you're doing a great job. I would tweak this and add this or whatever, but like, dude, you're off to the races, and it hasn't worked out like that so far as like the cast that I'm working with right now. And it might change once we have the financial backing. But right now, it does seem like I'm the sole person who's like coming up with the story and how we're driving this whole thing. And like I said, my suspicion is that on the female side, I don't know if it's going to be like that. Granted, it's going to be a little bit different because by the time we're like fully in the swing of casting for the female side, we probably will have financial backing. At which point, there's a lot more enthusiasm and motivation to like make sure that you're seen correctly or whatever. But we'll see how it all shakes out, and it's all going to be
Absolutely.
documented. And it's a wonderful little thing, and I'm just really grateful to have met you before the storm, because I know that like this at least is real. Once the like money comes in, then it's like you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're like, all right, you just wanna get your face up there.
Yeah, and I
Get
get
credit.
it, but it's
Yeah.
like yeah, and even then, it's like on the male side. I've reached out. I've been in communication with male natural bodybuilders this entire year. Some are lukewarm, and I'm 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 really wondering once we're on the other side and like we've got the green light and we have all the momentum in the world and this is the biggest story in the fitness industry, and the lukewarm athletes who are like either ghosting me or like giving like one word responses or whatever like that, if they're expressing interest and I had an interest in working with them prior, like how am I going to psychologically get over the fact that like you know
It's like, well, why do you want to be involved now? Like, you didn't care about the vision at the time.
yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, hey, that's very real. So you just got to be genuine always. Like, I don't know, like it's just be a decent person. It's not hard.
And I think that that's probably just like a good lesson. Like, however this shakes out, the first run, maybe the lesson for like the athletes and the people who are like naysayers or like wanting to like hang back in the shadows and like wait for this thing to like pan out before they like wade in on it. Maybe the lesson here is that don't do that next time.
Yeah.
Like
No, yeah. I
just
mean, it's everyone needs to learn and should make. Well, I'm not gonna say does because not everybody does, but everyone should at some point in their life learn how to let go of ego or reject ego or at least recognize their ego coming out. I'm gonna credit yoga, many years of yoga practice, to just some valuable lessons in that. But it's like just show up and be a decent person, and if something is like calls to you, what's like why hold back?
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack there. Yeah, because it's weird. But I'm not gonna spend this conversation talking about it. Well, that's
Sure,
something to explore at a much deeper level later on in the future, but we don't have to
for
right
sure.
now. But this was great. Um, yeah, I want to empower you. I want to empower you. Like right now, you're technically the Natty Queen. You know, like you are the
Hey.
Natty Queen until the Natty Queen gets crowned. So, however we collaborate, that's what it is.
No, love that. I've been thinking about whether or not I can get in to actually watch the pro show on the Sunday, because I mean I don't know that it's huge, but I think even if I can just get in for the morning just to see what that space is like and maybe get a chance to actually meet the two female wellness pros that are going to be there, would be a neat, would just be neat in
Yeah,
general. You're already
yeah.
thinking about it.
Absolutely. And yeah, IFBB, they're going. I'm waiting to get them involved later on, like once we actually do have all the traction, just because they're notoriously known for not wanting to cooperate with other federations, specifically natural federations. But by the time I knock on their door and I speak to Tyler Mannion, the plan is that we already have the financial backing. We've got the green light from Netflix, and hey, bro, this is what's happening. I would love to get your athletes involved. So in the meantime, like I said, just keep making
Right.
friends. And yeah, however you
Making
want,
friends,
like
planting seeds.
yeah, plant seeds. Wonderfully said. Plant seeds.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, as you continue to blossom in your career in fitness and entertainment industry, I will always be there to support and guide and offer whatever kind of value I can to your career.
Thank you. No, I super appreciate that. You're you're great, and I like online. You have a beautiful presence, and I love how supportive you are to like the people that are in your circle. Honestly, even through the first conversation we've had, I've made some cool connections just with people who are also kind of in this your little world here, and it's yeah, it's a neat thing to be a part of. So I'm stoked to be here.
Awesome. Well, also do let me know if anyone gets out alive.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everyone's been sweet, so we're good.
Good. Yeah, 'cause since you're the only girl in this whole thing, it's like, so we're on the same page. Let's
No,
like,
that's all good.
okay, okay. And again, this shows how like men and women can work together. You know, so let's
Absolutely.
do that.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I got leg day.
Hey, get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Let's go. Cool.
I'm
Any?
excited for my leg day after the show. I'm excited to grow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun it's gonna be a fun time.
Same. Same. I'm excited for you. Okay. Any questions, thoughts on your end?
No, not right now. I just gotta get through the next couple days and then I'm gonna have a whole lot more bandwidth just in general. So
Love that. I love that. Okay. Well, I'll check in a couple days then.
cool. Yeah, thanks.
Cool. Kill it at your show. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey.
All right. Peace. Bye bye.